Listen, can you hear it?
The sirens call.
What siren calls to you?
Is it the sea?
Is it the city?
Is it a compulsion to seek out and find a human being that you met for approximately 12 seconds 20 years ago?
Is it underpants?
Is it the desire to revisit the films of the 80s that you think you love or might have missed, but you just don't have the time?
We, the cast of 80s Abridged, gives you
The shortened and snarky splash.
Wooly Bully is the tune we must listen to as we are forced to watch the entire credit sequence appear and fade against a shimmering ocean backdrop.
Indeed, the 80s frequently made us watch entire credit sequences before we were allowed to enjoy any of their movies.
How much of our lives were lost?
Perhaps it taught us patience.
Title card, Cape Cod, 20 years ago. So 20 years before 1984, which is 1964.
Math and patience. Thank you for your guidance, 80s movies.
On a sock hop boat trip, a young boy flings pocket change at the ground as a ruse to look up the skirts of adult women. Because I guess in 1984 and 1964, the warning signs of becoming a creep were considered adorable.
Mom grabs Freddie by the scruff of the neck.
What? I dropped something.
Fred, talk to him.
Dad responds as dads do in 1964 and slaps the boy upside the head.
Listen to your father.
And suddenly we notice another young boy staring out into the sea with a wistful melancholy that would be better placed in 1994 than 1964.
Alan, don't you want to come see Cape Cod? No? Okay, well, we will be looking at Cape Cod if you change your mind.
And Alan just continues to stare into the sea.
Suddenly, he jumps over the railing and hovers underwater, smiling like a maniac at some unseen underwater thing.
Freddie takes this opportunity to check out more underpants. He cannot resist the siren song of ladies' underpants.
And Alan, beneath the waves, cannot resist the actual siren song of an actual mermaid.
A mermaid?
Gasp!
A mermaid?
Heck yes, and she's wearing a delightful statement necklace made of like pirate treasure or something like that.
Their embrace is brief. However, because Alan is soon rescued and taken back aboard the Cape Cod sock hop boat trip.
Title card, New York City, this morning.
Where they don't actually mean this morning.
Yeah, they mean that morning, 20 years after the sock hop boat in 1964.
Which makes this 1984.
At Bauer Produce, adorable and trustworthy everyman Tom Hanks is getting yelled at about cherries.
Where are my cherries? If I don't get my cherries, you don't get your money, and you starve, and you die.
Kind of aggressive cherry guy.
Don't worry, because even under pressure, our beloved everyman Tom Hanks and his character in this movie, Alan Bauer, will surely rise to the occasion.
And he does, after more screaming about cherries than a movie about mermaids should reasonably contain.
Next thing you know, sleazy underpants-obsessed Freddie comes careening around the corner in a Corvette, running over produce and nearly some employees.
What a creep. I bet we won't like him at all.
I certainly trust that I won't fall for any of the wily charms of this creepy underpants-looking unsafe driver.
Freddie appears, played by everyone's 1980s uncle, John Candy.
Wait, John Candy, you say?
I take back everything I said. I love the dangerous underpants man.
He wears a velvet burgundy coat for some reason, plus a long white knit scarf that is unscarfed in a way, and mostly, therefore, we must assume that it is merely decorative.
Who the heck put all this produce here? I'm all right if anybody's concerned. Alan, I'm in penthouse. Whoops. They printed my letter.
Okay, I'm back on the fence about this guy.
They printed my letter entitled "A Lesbian No More."
And I'm out. Freddie Bauer, you are gross, even if you are played by beloved 1980s icon John Candy.
Good call. Freddie proceeds to admit to stealing petty cash and sleeping with the cleaning lady at their family produce business.
At which everyone is now standing around reading copies of Penthouse magazine.
And then through even more cherry-related exposition, we learn that Tom Hanks, as Alan Bauer, is a problem solver and a stand-up guy, but he is desperately afraid of commitment. Why?
Just for the record, we are about to gloss over some really bonkers bits of this movie, including that Alan's elderly assistant was recently struck by lightning, which apparently causes her to now wear her bra on the outside.
Which Freddie finds hilarious.
And that Alan keeps a large fish tank in his office.
And that Alan is being dumped by his girlfriend over the phone while Freddie listens in on the extension, which is a thing that you could do with phones in 1984.
And most importantly, Alan Bauer cannot say, "I love you."
That too.
A wedding.
Freddie is still dropping hints, handfuls of change to peek at underpants.
I do not like him.
Alan has many excuses as to the whereabouts of the woman he could not love.
She's not feeling well. She couldn't make it.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Do give her our love.
Alan questions his inability to commit as he ushers people to their seats.
Give her their love. I can't even give her my love.
Later,
Alan is drunk, face down in a bowl of pretzels.
And Freddie abandons his inebriated and emotionally unstable little brother in order to harass women who have the misfortune to be in the same general area as him.
I do not like him.
Drunk Alan has unbottled his emotions as surely as he has unbottled several containers of booze.
I don't ask for too much, do I? I don't ask to be famous. I don't ask to be rich. I don't ask to play center field for the Yankees or anything. I just want to meet a woman. I want to meet a woman and I want to fall in love. And I want to get married and I want to have a kid and I want to see him play a tooth in the school play. It's not much, but I'm kidding myself. It's never going to happen. I'm going to grow old and die lonely and alone, surrounded by a bunch of rotten fruit.
and where is Freddie during all of this?
Still harassing women.
Super duper.
Drunk Alan decides to go to Cape Cod and takes a cab to Massachusetts.
Meanwhile,
On the beach,
Eugene Levy and two idiots are unloading large, mysterious crates, simply labeled scientific instruments.
He very aggressively confronts Hangover Hanks.
who sent you up here? Was it Dr. Ross in Chicago? Oh no, I guess you just happen to be some harmless beachcomber in a tuxedo. How dare you try and horn in on someone else's research? Walter Kornbluth is not a man to be taken advantage of, so you just stay out of my way, Sonny.
And they storm off into the ocean with all their crates of scientific equipment.
Leaving Tom Hanks to find some other weirdo called Fat Jack with a dinghy to take him to Cape Cod.
what's the matter? You look a little nervous.
Well, Fat Jack, to be honest with you, I can't swim.
Can't swim, and you would want me to do this.
And Fat Jack proceeds to shake the boat to and fro as hard as he can. It sputters and dies in the middle of the ocean.
Oops, don't worry, it's only a few miles. I can swim it. I'll be back in a few hours with the little boat.
And Fat Jack dives into the waves and glides away, leaving hungover Hanks alone in the dingy,
Dingy.
in the middle of the ocean.
Nearby,
Eugene Levy and the idiot twins are about to go scuba diving.
Acorn blower.
It's corn bluth.
What you looking for down there, belly treasure?
Oh, you want to know what I'm looking for? You want to know what I'm looking for? None of your gosh dang business. That's what I'm looking for. Now get out of my way.
and off he pops into the ocean.
Meanwhile, Tom Hanks gets himself thrown out of his little boat and conked on his noggin, sinking deep into the sea.
Exciting. Maybe we will get to meet a mermaid at this point.
That would be nice considering we are 20 minutes into this movie.
And 6 pages into this script.
Good news, everyone, because the mermaid is basically right there. She rescues Hangover Hanks, takes him to the beach, and watches over him.
Hello? Do you have any idea how I got here? Do you speak English?
She apparently does not.
But she still has that recognizable statement necklace.
And just enough hair to cover boobs and butt.
Wait a minute. She has legs,
Looks that way.
and she has legs because
Seems like it.
because she didn't make a bargain with a sea witch?
Doesn't seem so.
Fine, I guess.
The beautiful and nude mermaid and Hangover Hank's kiss.
Aww.
Aw.
And then she jumps back into the ocean.
With digital hair now covering her butt on Disney Plus.
No, wait, come back. Why didn't I learn how to swim?
Luckily, the mermaid finds his wallet under the sea because plot.
Also, because of plot, Eugene Levy spots her.
But she gets away.
Heads home, I guess, in a sunken pirate ship, I guess.
Where she finds a map of New York.
Right, because of course that's there, and of course she finds his address.
This is a bright young woman.
Sick of swimming.
Ready to stand.
Okay, all right. That's enough of that. Okay. Meanwhile,
At the Statue of Liberty.
Welcome to the Statue of Liberty. It was a gift from the French citizens as a symbolize of hope. Over the years, Lady Liberty has seen the New York skyline. While she hasn't dwarfed, she is great mountains of stone and steel. Okay, let's keep moving forward. You got feet? Use them. Do not touch my hat. Never touch my hat. Bocce balls!
What reason, might you ask, would cause this tour guide to exclaim so?
Naked Daryl Hannah with a digitally removed butt crack when streaming on Disney Plus.
That's right, friends. If you want to get a load of that butt, you're going to have to buy the DVD.
the crowd goes crazy, surrounding and taking pictures of crimpy-haired land mermaid Daryl Hannah.
A hilarious 1980s stereotype police officer approaches.
All right, miss, this ain't California. We don't go for this kind of stuff here.
The crowd boos as she is led away and put on a Coast Guard ship in an I Heart NY t-shirt.
The authorities basically hand her over to adorable everyman Tom Hanks as loveless produce mogul Alan Bauer, simply because she is in possession of his wallet and she points to it. And I guess that's all you needed to claim a stray naked woman in the 1980s.
He even admits that he has no idea who she is, and they asked no follow-up questions.
Meanwhile, crimpy-haired land mermaid Daryl Hannah is all about making out with produce mogul Alan Bauer, played by lovable everyman Tom Hanks.
Sidebar? How do you think she learned what kissing was?
Do you think she practiced on very handsome fish?
Guys, there have to be other mermaids.
But do you think they kiss? I mean, you'd get a mouthful of ocean water every time.
If Aquaman taught us anything, it's that everything under the sea is sexy.
Well, back at Alan Bauer's apartment, which is full of fish tanks and ocean memorabilia, Alan gets ready to leave for work, abandoning the strange woman who does not speak alone in his apartment all day.
Oh, but don't worry. He puts out a tray of food and turns on the TV like you do for your cats.
But he does assure her that they will try to figure out her identity and buy her some clothes as soon as he gets back from work.
And while Alan is at the office taking a nap,
Seriously, why was that a necessary thing? Why did he have to leave her by herself in order to go to his work and take a nap?
the crimpy-haired, still pretty much naked land mermaid has learned to speak English by watching TV and decides to go to Bloomingdale's.
Mermaids be shopping.
After she hangs out at Bloomingdale's all day, she learns aerobics and breaks all the TVs.
During their delightful stroll home through the streets of New York, Alan learns that his crimpy-haired land mermaid has never seen streetlights.
Or cars.
Or pretzels.
She's never heard music.
She doesn't know where she is from.
And she doesn't have a human name.
And she can only stay for 6 days while the moon is full.
These are all red flags.
For someone who is obsessed with ocean stuff and has literally seen a mermaid before, he is not really putting two and two together.
Meanwhile, Eugene Levy notices a photo of Madison, which is now what they are calling the crimpy-haired land mermaid, Daryl Hannah now.
That's right, millennials. You are all named Madison after a street because of this movie.
Eugene Levy notices Madison's picture in the paper.
See, even he is putting two and two together faster than more efficiently than Alan Bauer, played by never-endingly endearing everyman Tom Hanks.
Sidebar. Do you guys think it's weird that this guy keeps going to work, even though this very hot, very weird woman whose main hobby is to make out with him can only stay for a few more days? It's like, take some time off, man. What's up with our culture, like prioritizing work above all else? All right.
Later, Alan Bauer and Madison take a stroll and admire a mermaid fountain.
Alan tells her about his accident of falling off of the boat and seeing a mermaid.
And she tells him that she remembers this.
And still, this dude is not doing the math.
And then later, when hanging out with Freddie at the gym,
why is this guy going to a gym when the worst brother ever, when there's a crimpy-haired land mermaid hanging out at his house, literally waiting patiently to smooch him on the lips?
Alan still cannot admit that he feels the human emotion of love.
Not even whilst being noogied by John Candy.
They play racquetball.
Why? Go home to your land mermaid.
While Alan plays racquetball alone instead of playing tonsil hockey with his crimpy-haired land mermaid, Freddie drinks beer and smokes cigarettes.
On a racquetball court.
And they discuss why he does not love Madison.
What about that? What about showing up naked in a public place?
Well, I'm all for it, of course. You said it yourself. She's had some kind of a immigration problem. So she's on the ocean liner. She greases herself up like a channel swimmer. She's gone through some sharks. Gets to shore, goes through some landmines, and there you go.
Even this idiot is putting more critical thinking skills to use in the situation.
Okay, but there's also a bathtub and all the moon stuff. And what about all those TVs?
Oh, look, I'm being serious. I've had a few minor fiascos in my life. I'll admit freely.
Freddie, you took a date to one of your own weddings.
I'm a free spirit, a free willing dude. What your problem is. You are in love with this girl and you're trying to convince yourself that you're not.
I just don't know, Freddie. There's something about this situation that's weird.
Yeah, there is.
But then John Candy gets hit in the head with the racquetball and we move on.
Back at the apartment, Madison has bought the mermaid fountain and had it placed in Alan's living room.
Okay, now there is a mermaid statue in his house, and he will look at it every day, and he's still not sussing out this mystery.
I bet even the moving guys who brought the fountain and set it up like figured it out. They were like, she's a mermaid, right? Oh yeah, 100%. Creepy haired land mermaid.
So there they are, embracing in front of the mermaid fountain.
I got it for you because I love you.
And I love this present you got me. I love it.
And then, in a barely audible whisper,
I love you.
Meanwhile, Eugene Levy is in the doghouse with his mentor for suggesting that he has discovered the existence of mermaids.
I just don't know what's happened to you. You were the brightest student in my class, and look what you've become, a schmuck.
there is a mermaid in New York City.
You mean this naked lady? How come she's got legs?
Come on, she's got legs out of the water. She's got fins in the water. You taught me that. You're the one who taught me all the legend and showed me all the maps of where sailors claimed they had seen mermaids.
That was for fun, relaxation, not for you to build your whole life on.
I'm going to prove to you and to everyone else that this girl is a mermaid.
How? You gonna get her wet so everyone can see she has fins?
And that turns out to basically be the plan, as we are then treated to a delightful sequence of Eugene Levy stalking Alan and Madison with 2 pails of water, repeatedly dousing the wrong women and getting beat up.
Cut to lovable genius Tom Hanks as Alan Bauer and Daryl Hannah, crimpy hair land mermaid Madison, at a fancy restaurant where Alan clumsily proposes and Madison eats a lobster, shell and all.
Later, besides an ice rink, Alan does a much better job of proposing, and Madison says no.
I can't.
Why not?
I can't tell you.
Okay, but seriously, he should have just figured it out by now.
Look, I know you have some big secret, but I don't care. What? You're already married? You're dying? You were once a man? I don't care about any of that. You can tell me.
Alan, I only have 3 days left. Please make them wonderful.
Okay.
Want to skate some more?
Yeah, I do.
Is this what really happens to ice when it gets cold? Where I come from, it never gets cold.
Thanks, Madison. You really opened up there.
Your voice is strange.
Oh, let me guess. They don't have sarcasm where you come from.
No, they don't.
They don't have sarcasm. They don't have ice. They don't have music. Then they don't have clothes. What kind of place is this, Madison?
Yeah, you should be asking yourself that, Alan.
Madison takes off her skates and runs away.
Tom Hanks follows, but is tackled to the ground by the skatekeeper.
Hey, those skates are rented.
Madison, come back. I'm sorry, Madison.
Let her go, man. Show some dignity.
The next day, Madison returns and agrees to marry the grumpy and not all that bright, yet still trustworthy and lovable Tom Hanks as Alan Bauer.
Listen, before we get married, I have to tell you everything, but not today.
Okay, listen. You are going to love being married to me. I come from a long line of married people. My mom and dad, they were married. Their mom and dad, they were married too.
But wait, Who is that mopping floors with a broken arm in the lobby of Alan Bauer's apartment building?
My guess is that it would have to be the only other character that's really featured in this story. Mermaid-obsessed and chronically rude scientist, Eugene Levy.
That's right. And I bet you he's up to something.
He climbs the stairs and douses yet another not mermaid woman in water and gets beaten up.
Cut to Madison and Alan at a fancy dinner with the president, of course, for some reason.
You know what? I hope we have a boy and a girl.
What kind?
Well, the young kind, I guess. I hear the older ones are kind of hard to deliver. We're getting married.
Everyone at the dinner gets excited, shouting, "The president is here!"
And you know who else is there? Eugene Levy, with a tank of water strapped to his back like a moisturizing ghostbuster.
As Alan and Madison exit the building and in front of a whole bunch of press for some reason, he finally succeeds in dousing crimpy-haired land mermaid Madison with water, effectively turning her into crimpy-haired mermaid on land.
And finally, everyone sees what Alan should have figured out a while ago.
I was right! Behold the mermaid!
She cries out for Alan, who basically stands there like an idiot and does not help her.
Madison, the damp-haired on-land mermaid, is carried off by the Secret Service for some reason.
Later, at a military facility, we see a lot more of multiple Oscar award-winning actor Tom Hanks as Alan Bauer, who is held naked because science?
I am not a fish. How many times do I have to tell you people that?
The scientists bring Madison in and dump her in the tank with Alan.
You said whatever my secret was, you would understand.
I know, I just...
Thought at least I was a human being.
She reaches out to him, and he flinches away.
Later, Alan is dropped off at home and mobbed by reporters with very stupid questions.
Mr. Bauer, did she eat worms?
Mr. Bauer, do you have to make love to her in water?
Is she some kind of mutant or a missing link of some kind?
Mr. Bauer, is it true that she is also seeing Burt Reynolds?
Luckily, Freddie comes to the rescue.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Is anybody here from Penthouse magazine?
No.
Then we ain't talking.
The Bauer brothers head back to the produce warehouse where everyone stops what they are doing and stares.
What are you looking at? You never seen a guy whose girlfriend was a fish? Get back to work.
I don't understand. All my life I've been waiting for someone, and then I find her, and she's a fish.
Nobody said that love was perfect.
Ah, geez, Freddie. I don't expect it to be perfect, but for God's sakes, it's usually human. Every day, people meet people, and look what I got.
Look what you got? Yeah, let's take a good look at what you got. People fall in love every day. That's crock. Do you realize how happy you were with her? Some people will never be that happy. I'll never be that happy. What am I even talking about to you for? You don't get it.
And John Candy brings it home.
Proving once again that no matter how unlikable the character, John Candy can turn anyone into a lovable genius.
Back at the lab, Madison is being tested. Her once beautiful and golden gleaming scales are now flaky and musty.
She's looking sadder than a goldfish you'd win at a state fair.
And they're not even giving her shells for her boobies.
Monsters.
Meanwhile, Eugene Levy finds out that they plan to cut Madison open and study her internal organs.
He briefly seems to be filled with regret, but does nothing except for go to the dentist and refuse Novocaine.
Somehow, Alan Bauer manages to find Eugene Levy at the dentist because of plot.
You've destroyed my life, Cornbloof.
I didn't mean to. I just needed to prove to everyone that I was right. I am a man of science. I just didn't think about how it would affect you or her. I'm really a nice guy deep down. I have friends. You can ask them.
And they hatch a plan to rescue Madison.
Oh, good, because for a second there, I was worried that this movie wouldn't have a heist element.
At the gate, Alan and Freddie pose as Swedish scientists.
Unluckily for them, the guard speaks Swedish and grows suspicious when they don't seem to understand him.
Luckily for them, Freddie knows how to brag about the size of his wiener in Swedish.
Because of course he does.
And somehow that persuades the guards to let them pass.
Because of course it does.
Sad, no longer crimpy-haired mermaid on land, Madison lights up when she sees that Alan has come to rescue her.
So was your big secret that you're a mermaid, or was there something else?
And the escape happens.
Good, because I was worried that this movie might not have a car chase element.
Alan and Eugene Levy come running out with Madison wrapped in a sheet.
Oh my God, the blood! The blood!
Oh, we were in there and the mermaid attacked. Lasers came shooting out of her eyes.
We gotta get this guy out of here. Don't go into that room.
I'll be back later with nuclear weapons.
And that works.
The scientists find John Candy sitting in the fish tank, smoking a cigar.
Wow, you really could smoke anywhere in the 80s.
But the chase is on as helicopters and soldiers attempt to recapture the suddenly re-crimpy-haired and noble land mermaid.
Nevertheless, Alan and Madison make it to the sea. I was going to stay with you forever.
I know. I wish I could go with you.
You can. Remember when you were 8 and you fell off the ship? You were safe under the water because you were with me.
You mean that was real? You mean that was you?
No, it was some other mermaid that you met one time.
My God, what's wrong with this guy?
This is great. I can go with you and come back and see Freddie at Christmas?
You can't ever come back. If you come with me, you can't ever come back.
And this idiot hesitates and tells her to go without him.
Because Freddie is better than true love under the sea?
Get it together, Tom Hanks!
Madison waves goodbye from the waves as helicopters catch up.
And finally, this dum-dum jumps into the water to be with his lady love, who is like half lady love.
Alan takes off his jacket, but not his shoes, as they swim around and point out interesting fish to each other.
Will we get to see how he fits in her world?
Oh, like a non-fish underwater story?
Nope. We get a glimpse of the mermaid world and then the movie is over.
What did we learn?
That being a jerk is mostly okay as long as he's being played by John Candy.
That mermaids have really good memories for faces and how those faces would be likely to age as human adult men, and also when those men will be near Cape Cod at any given time.
We definitely learned that Disney will cover a butt in digital mermaid hair.
Perhaps the most important thing we learned is that true love is true love the greatest siren call?
The only thing I learned is that we love Tom Hanks.
We
Do.
Tom
We
Hanks.
love Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. This has been the cast of 80s Abridged with short and snarky splash.
Featuring Chrissy and Mallory, Trisha, Nicholas, Daniel, and crimpy-haired land mermaid Lauren.